Dallas Mavericks GM Nico Harrison turned the NBA world upside down over the weekend. Harrison sent his 25-year-old superstar Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis and a first-round pick. When asked of his reasoning for the deal, this is what he had to say.
There's some unique things about his contract that we had to pay attention to. There's other teams that were loading up, that he was going to be able to decide make his own decision at some point of whether he wants to be here or not. Whether we want to supermax him or not, or whether he wants to opt out. So I think we had to take all that into consideration and feel like we got out in front of what could have been a tumultuous summer.
A very interesting answer if you ask me. I'm joined by specialist Kenny Ojeikere, Derrick Stilley, and Isaiah Maldonado. Everyone in the world is asking, why would the Mavs trade Luka Doncic? Kenny, if you were the GM of the Dallas Mavericks, would you have done this deal?
Well, first off, you forgot about Max Christie in this deal, so let me correct you.
Respect.
So one, if I was Nico Harrison, I'm not pulling this trade off. But at the same time, I'm not mad about this trade. Why? Because you get Anthony Davis, who's a top 3 defender in the league. You get Max Christie. If you've been watching, he's been the Lakers' best perimeter defender. Not only until they got Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith when they acquired him in a trade, but Max Christie's coming off the best month of his career. He's young. He's oozing with potential. And then you get rid of Luka. I understand why the Mavericks fans are mad. Mm-hmm. Luka is in his prime. I get it. But the Mavericks defense got 10 times better getting Anthony Davis and Max Christie.
All valid points. I'm not doing it, though. I'm not trading a superstar in his prime for an aging superstar. However, very good points because it makes sense. And I honestly think Dallas got a little bit better for right now, as in this season. Next season, are they better? I don't know. The season after that, I don't know. But if you're trying to win a championship today, I think you have a better team. And I think AD's points will go up a little bit because he's playing the 4 now. A lot less punishment on his body. He already averages 26 and 12. The only thing I don't like about this trade is that the public is acting like AD's not a player.
Yep.
He's a all NBA caliber type of player. So we can't act like AD's a bum. But at the same time, I still want to make the trade.
I mean, no, listen, I agree. I've seen all over the internet, you had Mavericks fans quite literally running protests in the city, talking about why would you trade Luka? And quite frankly, I think there hasn't been enough. I think we need more protests in this case. I'm sorry. Like, you just don't do that. 25-year-old superstar, Luka's that kind of player, regardless of the conditioning issues. Whatever you want to pay that man, you pay him that money. He is single-handedly he kept the Mavericks relevant for I don't even know how long after the Dirk era. And we're going to see him, he's going to do great in LA. I think the fit there is really wonky, but we'll touch on LA in we're gonna get to that. But for the Mavericks specifically right now, I agree they did get better. Kyrie gets moved back to his natural position at PG. You get to have AD go back to his natural position as a forward. The Lakers were a top 8 defense with Anthony Davis. Expect that same jump from the Mavericks, and I think that makes them really dangerous for like the next 3 to 4 years.
I want to stop real quick because Derrick said something that interested me. You said that people forgot that AD is a player. Has the world forgotten who Luka Doncic is? A 25-year-old superstar who has potential to go down as one of the all-time greats.
True.
John, you said something that interested me as well. You said that they were holding protests, right? That is a once-in-a-life. You hold protests for a once-in-a-lifetime player.
I've never seen it in my life.
You hold protest for a player like Luka Doncic, who, like I said, has the potential to go down as one of the all-time greats. Have we not forgotten that he's a playoff riser? He's one of the best young superstars. He's a 25-point triple-double threat almost every night, in my opinion.
Maybe 30.
So
30.
30-point triple-double. 30-point triple-double. I know he's been injured, but I feel like we're forgetting who Luka Doncic is. But Kenny, I know you have something to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, all right. I'm a Laker guy, so I'm gonna ride for Luka. If you combine Luka and LeBron, hey, Nico Harrison, I'm not complaining because now at all times you have a dominant ball handler on the court. And then think you're a coach, right? And you have to deal with LeBron and Luka Doncic. What are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? And like these are 2 guys that are gonna make their teammates better. They're gonna make their teammates' lives so much easier with simple shots, simple catch and shoot, simple lobs. I'm so excited for this, man. There's only like 3 guys in the league that can pass the ball and really shift the defense. That's LeBron, Luka, and Jokic.
I'm about to say two of them on the same team.
Now, I do want to propose something because people have criticized this move because they've said, can Luka and LeBron play together? Because they're both people who demand the ball. I want someone to respond to that because that's a true concern in my eyes.
I'll let Derrick take that.
The answer is yes, and I think LeBron will be welcoming to take a step back. I don't think he's wanted to be that guy for the past 3 years in his career, maybe 2. I also think this only says LeBron has 2 to 3 years left max. I don't see him playing more than 2 to 3 years, specifically because this is a trade that recaptures your future as an organization. You're looking for LA to be a market on top of it being LA, and now you have Luka. Free agents are going to want to play with Luka Doncic, especially that he's in LA. This team is looking better for the future. Only thing they still don't have is picks.
I mean, I agree. I think it's a great move. I think when AD came as a 26-year-old to Los Angeles, everyone sat there and said, LeBron's 35, 34. He's going to take that step back. And that's not what happened, obviously. LeBron won a Finals MVP. He's continued to cement his legacy. And AD never took that step to guaranteed be that like one player while LeBron was the 2. It was always a 1A, 1B kind of situation. I do think LeBron has solidified himself as a 2, but I'm just curious to see what that looks like. I personally don't like watching LeBron play off ball. That's just not, and I think it takes a lot of adjustment because I think they're the only 2 players in the NBA history to have 28, 7, and 7 career averages. They offensively, for what they produce, they're the exact same player. Different play styles, but they produce a lot of the same. So I think fit-wise, it'll just be very interesting to see how it works.
I don't think Luka can play off ball, but I definitely know for sure LeBron can play off ball.
LeBron pick and roll.
If you look at the sets that JJ runs, LeBron plays off. He's been playing a lot more off ball this season.
This season, I agree.
A Luka LeBron pick and roll is crazy. That's
Would be insane. I have to agree with Isaiah on this take, but trade season is in full effect as De'Aaron Fox was also dealt to the San Antonio Spurs and a 3-team deal that also sent Zach LaVine to the Kings. There were also picks involved, notably the Bulls getting their own 2025 pick back, an underrated move in my opinion. But let's get into the fit. I think Fox and Wemby's playstyle will fit immediately well. They blend together very well. Also, the Kings' projected lineup now is Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Domantas Sabonis. That's also not a bad starting lineup in my humble opinion.
It's kind of tough.
But Derrick, I'm going to pass it to you first. Who do you think is a winner of this specific trade?
Not the Chicago Bulls. They never win anything. But the Spurs, De'Aaron Fox and Vic, I think, I said this earlier. I said, if Victor Wembanyama somehow finds a way to sneak into the play-in, I'm taking him. I don't care who they play, I'm taking him. And if he makes the playoffs, we're going to see something special. He actually has a player to play with. And I don't mean someone who is just a spot-up shooter or maybe he can catch and drive. I mean like an active scorer, someone who could create their own shot. And I think that's not only going to shift a lot of defenses away from Vic, it's going to elevate his game. And I think we're going to see how good of a passer he is, which is very underrated. People forget Fox is a 25, 5-5 kind of guy. And I think that 5 turns into 8 or 9 with Vic. Those are easy lobs, easy points.
I mean, I have to agree. I think the main thing that I don't think what they're realizing is how dangerous that pick and roll is going to be.
Yes.
If you look at the numbers, De'Aaron Fox is in the 91st percentile as a primary ball handler in the pick and roll. 50% point conversion rate. You give him that ball in the pick and roll, half the time he's getting a bucket. There are only 8 other players in the league that score more off the pick and roll than Victor Wembanyama as the roll man. You pair that together, and that's generational offense. And we've already seen, I just want to throw this in there real quick, we've seen what Chris Paul has done for the development of Stephon Castle. We've seen it. He's been a great rookie, and De'Aaron Fox is still young. There is room in his game to improve, and from a playmaking perspective, give him a year of Chris Paul, we really could be looking at this man as a 25-10 guy potentially. It's a possibility.
Okay, Kenny, I'm going to get you into this too.
So you brought up the pick and roll. Wemby and Fox, they're both top 10 respectively when it comes to pick and roll. And you brought up Stephon Castle. My main gripe about this trade, one, I'm going to say I do think the Kings do benefit getting Zach LaVine. But if you're the Kings, you couldn't get a Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan. They couldn't even get Trey Jones. I would have even taken Champagnie. You know what I'm saying? That's true. They couldn't get one young piece out of this. But, I mean, look, for the Spurs case, they do win this by a mile. Now you get Fox going downhill with his floater game. With Wemby on the three-point line, that pick and roll is going to be amazing. De'Aaron Fox is in heaven right now.
Yes. I just want to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
The Kings are heading towards NBA purgatory. NBA purgatory is that spot where you're not bad enough to get a top pick and you're not good enough to contend. they're in that
I don't
spot.
know though, because Zach LaVine has like quietly been having
He's
an
good.
all-star
He's
season.
good, but it's not enough. I'm sorry, it's just not enough with the talent around him.
Well, I know we're missing one trade. Jimmy Butler, we just got news 5 minutes before we got on air that Jimmy Butler got sent to the Warriors for some picks. And they also signed him to a 2-year, $121 million contract. I wish we could talk about that, but we don't have time. We will next time. This is not the end of NBA drama. Kevin Durant is still on the market, and the Phoenix Suns are actively looking to ship him away. When that and other major NBA news occur, we at Quarter Central are your one-stop shop for breakdown and analysis. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching.